You are welcome to another episode of No Gray Areas with Sazzy. I hope you all are staying safe and you are keeping your loved ones safe as well. If you are new here, you are welcome to this channel. Please hit the subscribe button so you can get notifications when we upload a new video. We are also on other social media platforms. On Facebook, we are No Gray Areas with Sazzy, and on Instagram we are NGA with Sazzy. Please do well to like our posts, share our videos as well. There are people out there that might just be in need of these solutions. On this channel, we talk about realities of life and possible ways of handling them, hopefully surmounting them as well. So this is a new week and we have a question for the week. So let's go right into the question. Hello, Sazzy. Why do people treat their domestic staff poorly? And how can we approach this ill treatment differently? So this is the question of the week. Let's go right into it as I share my view on the matter arising. Now, a lot of women and girls turn to domestic jobs as the only option available to them because they need to foot their bills and also support their families. But sadly, a lot of these people as well become very vulnerable and highly marginalized in our society today. They go through a range of abuses that is very, very despicable and painful as well. Now, abuses like verbal abuse, physical abuse, sexual abuse, non-payment of salaries, even long working hours without resting or something. These people go through a lot of mental torture. They go through a lot of emotional breakdown because of the condition that they are being subjected to, or they are made to get subjected to. Now, I am not saying that we do not have horrible domestic workers. As a matter of fact, I have had stories of how domestic workers treat their employers very terribly, and even their children, how horrible they have been. I have seen videos of CCTV cameras getting moments of how domestic workers have killed some children and how horrible they have been to some children. I have seen all that happen. So I'm not saying that every domestic worker is a saint. No, that's not what I'm saying. But the point I'm trying to make here is that a lot of domestic workers are actually on the receiving end when it comes to being abused or being ill-treated. Now, there are reasons why these people go through these abuses here and there in our society. And so let's go right into the reasons why people treat these domestic workers poorly. Number one, poverty. Poverty is a major reason why these people go through what they are going through. Put yourself in their situation. If you are comfortable as a man or as a woman and you have a child, would you give your child off to be a domestic worker? If you're comfortable, you can pay your bills, you can foot their bills as well. You won't do that. It's because of poverty. They can't foot their bills, they can't handle it, and they send these children off to go work for people so that they can survive. So poverty is one of the major reasons why these domestic workers are in the situation where they are in. Another reason is death of a parent or their parent or even a guardian. Some children were actually raised in a comfortable home, relatively comfortable home. They were okay. Their parents were paying their bills and doing the much they could do within their capacity or capability. But when they lost their parents, everything turned south. They couldn't foot their bills anymore. Probably no family member to even cater for them. And what other option do they have? To become domestic workers. And that is the reason why they found themselves in the situation where they are in. Not because they chose to actually live this kind of life from the beginning. No, because of the situation they found themselves in. That's the reason why they decided to bring themselves to that level to take the job. So the death of a parent or even a guardian can cause can lead to this, of course. Can lead to this. Another reason could be lack of education. You know, education is something that we can never overemphasize. It's important as parents that we educate our children. It's important as parents that we make them understand so they begin to see the positive sides of life and begin to make the right decisions for themselves. If you are not educated, people that are educated are looking for jobs. As a matter of fact, there are some educated people that are also doing this job of a domestic worker. Yes, because we have a lot of unemployment issues going on in our society. How much more a child, a boy or a girl that is not educated at all? Of course, you have to go for menial jobs where they pay paltry sums to them and everything. So lack of education is another reason why these people go through what they go through. Another reason why this happens as well is because we have the one-size-fits-all mindset. A lot of people have that one-size-fits-all. The good domestic workers get to be ill-treated because of their employer's previous experience or experiences. Oh yes, you get to hear people say, you know what? All house helps are the same. Every driver that works with you is the same. Every security man that works with you is the same. They are all the same. They are no good. Nothing good can come out of them. So you know what? You treat them like slaves. No, now. It's not always the case. I've heard stories of employers talk about how some of their domestic workers were witches. Yes, I've heard stories like that. And I'm not saying they are lies. No. Real stories, true stories. Some domestic workers are wicked. They are mean. I acknowledge that. I understand that. I've even experienced some of them. Personally, I have experienced some of them. I have been pushed as well to that point of treating them really poorly. But you know what? You need to step back a little when you realize that you cannot stand these people anymore. Step back and probably let them go. Let them go. Some of them claim that their domestic workers are stubborn, or that some of them came with a stroke of bad luck. That yes, since this boy came to my house, things have actually been going really horribly in my business or my job. Or since this girl came to my house, things have really not been working really right. Those things might just be superstitions. Those things might just be an unfortunate incident. Not because they have a hand in it. Yes. Not because they have a hand in it. But it's just, it's life. Life is just playing out that way. Are they all innocent? No. Are all domestic workers innocent? No, I'm not saying that. Some, like I said, some are actually really very heartless, mean. Some have actually brought division in families. Some have brought pain to families. Some have brought a lot of painful experiences to families. I will acknowledge that, and I agree. But we need to also understand that most of these domestic workers are always at the short end of this whole thing. They are the receiving end. They experience the pain more. If you think a domestic worker that works with you is a witch or came with a stroke of bad luck, let them go. Why keep them in the first place? Relieve them of their job and let them go, so they can leave and you leave. So they can be at peace and you be at peace as well. And sometimes they are seen as necessary evil. Oh, you may not really want to have them, but sometimes they are seen as necessary evil. Sometimes. But the bottom line is, if you cannot handle anyone that lives with you as a domestic worker, let them go. Another reason is we live in a loveless world. Humanity has lost its essence of living. We live in a world where people are so cold and cruel towards their fellow humans. because a child is living with you, or a teenager, or a woman, or a man, or a young boy lives with you and has subjected themselves to that level of working with you as a domestic staff, does not warrant the ill treatment. They do not deserve the ill treatment. They do not deserve it. But because humanity has lost every sense of love, humanity has lost every sense of kindness, humanity has lost every sense of being humane to people, and that's the reason why they treat people as trash. They see these domestic staff or domestic workers as nothing. They feel they will amount to nothing, and that is the reason why they treat them the way they do. It is sad, it is despicable, it is painful, it is horrible, and it is not the right way to go about it. But unfortunately, these domestic workers suffer in the hands of their employers because they lack love in their lives. They lack love in their lives. Another reason is the mind your business syndrome. You see, a lot of people know that these people are being subjected to slavery, but people just look the other way because, of course, nobody wants to fight their neighbor over their domestic staff. Everybody says, you know what, I want to just mind my business. What that woman is doing to that child, what that woman is doing to that boy or that girl or that woman, I don't find it funny. I don't find it comfortable. But who am I to talk about it? It's not my business, so I mind my business. So everybody is in the business of minding their business. And that's the reason why a lot of things are actually going really, really bad. Children are being subjected to terrible lifestyle. Children are being treated horribly. A lot of these girls and boys are being abused sexually by their employers. If it's not the husband of the home that is abusing these people, it is the wife of the home or the relative of the home of these people that is actually abusing these domestic workers, and they do not have anyone to defend them. They don't have anyone to speak on their behalf. They are subjected to torture every day of their lives. You treat them poorly, you treat them badly. We need to do better as a society. Yes, I'm talking to you. We need to do better as a society. If you have domestic workers living with you and you cannot cater for them, let them go. If you cannot treat them like you treat your own, let them go. If you cannot be kind to them, if you cannot be humane enough to them, if you cannot show any level of kindness or love to these people, let them go. They are humans just like you, remember? They are humans just like you. Imagine it, that for some reason you can't foot your bills and you send your kids off to working with somebody and they come back with terrible, terrible, painful, hurtful, painful experiences that they go through. Imagine that you have a child that goes through that pain. Imagine the hurt. I'm sorry, I'm being very emotional today about what is going on, but we need to stop. To be honest with you, I have done this video over and over and over, and for some reason I just can't stop being emotional. But please, let's do better. Treat them like your own. When you give kindness, you lose nothing. When you give kindness, you lose nothing. It makes you a better human. Treat that house help living with you right. Treat that person living with you right. The tables can turn. The tables can turn. The tables can turn. Be kind, please. There are better ways that we can handle our domestic workers differently. Number one, let them know your do's and your don'ts. The moment you employ them, let them know your do's and your don'ts. Let them know that you accept this, you will not accept this. Let them know. Do not just assume that they know. Do not assume that, oh, this place was actually dirty. Are you not supposed to know that you should clean it? Some of them really do not take the initiative. Really, they do not. So let them know your do's and your don'ts. It will be better that way. I'm not saying that even after telling them, they won't do worse or do wrong. They will. They are humans. But the more we tell them, the more I believe it will settle. Another thing is discipline in love when they are naughty. When they behave poorly, discipline them, but in love. Correct them, but in love. Do it like you're doing it to your own. Yes. Do it like you're doing it to your own. That's another way we can approach this differently. Another way we can do it is tone down on the verbal abuse. Some employers are terrible. At the slightest provocation, they are hurling words. Words are coming here and there. They are abusing their workers. They are calling them all sorts of names. They even abuse their families. They abuse their mothers, their fathers, their relatives. They abuse their whole generation. Because this worker did something wrong. You can correct without abusing. Yes, you can. You can discipline without abusing. You can. Another thing that we can do to act differently is pay their dues as agreed. Some employers don't pay their domestic workers, and that is the truth. And before you know it, these workers become very irritated. They become very angry. They become very aggravated. And it's only human. It's only natural. Some employers, from the beginning, when they brought these people to their homes, they agreed with their people that they will actually educate them. They will take them to school. And before you know it, these people have lived with them for 2 years, no education at all. Some of them agreed a certain amount to be paid to them on a monthly basis, and nothing has been done. Some of them actually promised that they will make them learn one skill or the other. Nothing has been done. 1 year has gone by, maybe 2 years. These people are humans. They are humans. I'm sorry I've been so emotional about this video, but they are humans. Treat them the way you want to be treated as well. Treat them the way you see is right. If you know that when you are being pinched, you feel really bad, then don't pinch the next person. Another way we can handle this differently is they should be allowed to rest a little. Please. We have the popular saying that body no be firewood. Body no be firewood. They are humans. They are not robots. They are not machines. After working, they should have some time to rest. Some employers don't want to see their workers rest. They don't want to catch them maybe having a nap or something. Let them rest a little. Don't overlabor these people to the point where they wear out. Even when they are sick, you really don't care. When they are sick, you don't pay attention to their health. Nothing. Come on. Let's do better. Please, we can do better. Another way we can handle this differently is defend them or save them from their abusers. If you have a domestic worker that lives with you, and for some reason they are opening up to you about what they are going through, please investigate it. Investigate it. If it's your husband or your wife or your brother that lives with you or your sister, please try to step in. Try to resolve. If you cannot resolve it, or probably you feel it's bigger than you, then let this domestic worker leave. Let them go. You can't allow someone that you brought into your home to be abused sexually or physically or whichever way continuously. You can't allow that. You can't allow that. It does not tell well of you. It does not make you a good human. It makes you a terrible person. So that's one way we can treat this differently. Another way we can handle it is do not allow them look haggard or smell badly. Oh, because you're going out for a party, the whole world needs to know that that's your house help. That's my house help. The whole world does not need to know that. They can look good. They can come out looking really good, smelling really good. How can somebody that lives with you look haggard? They are taking care of your children. They are taking care of your home. The stench that comes out of them is horrible. And you are comfortable? And you are comfortable? Come on! And you are comfortable? No. No. There has to be some level of whack to our heads so people begin to think and process things and behave right. Do not let your domestic workers look haggard. You are going for a function, you're going to church, you're going for one party, you're going somewhere, and your domestic worker is looking poorly. Some people go out to hang out in a eatery or in an eatery, and you see their domestic workers separated from them. Their children are eating, they are eating, and their domestic workers are just there. They're just there watching them. Come on. Come on, we can do better. How much is that meal? If you don't have the money for everybody, buy the little you can buy and let everybody go home and share. Make them feel like they belong to the family, because indeed they are part of the family. As long as someone lives under your own roof, they are part of your family. Treat these people right. Treat them right. Another way we can handle it differently is celebrate them when they do well. When they do well, when they cook well, celebrate them. Appreciate them. Tell them, oh, your meal is nice. Oh, this place you cleaned is really good. Oh, this thing you did is nice. And also, you can celebrate their birthdays as well. If you can celebrate your children, why can't you celebrate them? If you are aware of their birthdays, do something to make them happy. Maybe buy them a cup of ice cream. Maybe just give them a nice toothbrush. Maybe a nice pair of shoes, a shirt, a top, something. Maybe buy them a little cake. Something just to make them know that they are appreciated. Just to make them know that they are loved. Just to make them know that they are part of the home and the family. It's important. Another way we can handle this as well is pay attention to their sad moments and know why. Pay attention to their sad moments and know why. I have a rule in my house personally where if you live with me, you don't frown. Yes. And if for some reason I notice that my domestic worker is frowning or having a straight face, I try to investigate. I try to ask questions. I try to know why. Because of course, it comes off as a negative energy around the home. I understand. You ask them to know why. There could just be a reason. This person might just be having a headache. They might just be going through one emotional issue or the other. They might just be battling with something that they don't know how to express it to you. Be sensitive to your workers. Look at their faces. Look them in the eyes. Try to understand their mood. They are humans too. If your child or your children are found in that state, what will you do? You will ask why, isn't it? You will ask why. So why can't you do the same for your domestic workers? Why can't you do the same? Please, we can do the same. And then lastly, but not the least, of course, let them go when they become very overbearing. Because a lot of them are actually not redeemable. I agree. Some of them cannot be redeemed. You have taught, you have begged, you have disciplined, you have corrected, you have done everything possible for this person, but for some reason, it ain't working. Let them go. Let them go. They can't live with you for the rest of their lives. They should go and live with probably somebody else, or go back to their parents, or live the life they want to live, and then you can go out there to get another person. Instead of you to turn out to be a mean boss, instead of you to turn out to be a wicked and horrible boss, that's not what you want to be. You can't let the attitude of your domestic staff turn you into a different person altogether. That is not what you want. So when they become overbearing, when you just can't stand them anymore, when you just can't endure their misbehaviors and disobedience and arrogance, please let them go. That's the best way to not get yourself in that state of being mean and wicked to them. Let them go and get somebody else. So please, treat people the way you want to be treated. Do proper investigations before you bring anyone to your home. Run proper medical tests. There are people that bring workers to their homes. They don't do medical checkups. Don't do that. Don't make that mistake. Run proper medical checkups. Please, it's very important. So they will not transfer something to you or to the children. Also, you know their medical conditions before employing them. Discuss with your spouse. Ensure that your spouse is on the same page with you in allowing someone come live with you. It's very important that you and your spouse, you are in agreement, or you and anybody that you live together with is in agreement that you need another person to come live as a domestic staff. It's very important. Do not allow your children abuse them or insult them. No. Do not allow your children look down on them. No, don't do that. It is not proper. If you are not ready to live with somebody that is not related to you by blood, please do not get yourself involved in that. If you're not ready to accommodate another person that is not related to you by blood, then don't let them stay with you. Don't let them stay with you. Please be ready to accommodate somebody else, because whether you like it or not, we must have that. We must bump heads. It's human. It's normal with life. We must bump heads. They do not know the totality of you. You do not know the totality of them. So we must bump heads. It's very important. And then finally, make people's lives better. When people come to you, when people live with you, make them feel like they can never leave you because you make them better. Become a sponge that absorbs evil. Be a sponge that absorbs negativity, but emits fairness, emits kindness, emits love. Show kindness. Show all these things is very important. And when you realize that you have changed someone's life, and because of you, the person did not give up, then the reward becomes immeasurable. And that is the true essence of humanity. Let's show love. Show love. Show love. Express love. Be kind. Be kind. Because you never know that what goes around may just come around. Thank you so much, and I just want to apologize for being very emotional. It was not intentional. I tried to do this video over and over and over, and you don't want to even understand the pain I went through doing this video. I was pained. I'm sorry for being emotional, but I hope that the message has been gotten. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please share them, like our posts, send your comments as well. We are very open to listening to them and maybe communicating with you. See you next time on another episode of No Gray Areas with Sazzy. Bye.